Dave Pitts, D-A-V-E, P-I-T-T-S.
And your rank?
Captain,
Sunnyvale PD.
Sunnyvale Public Safety.
Sunnyvale Public Safety. See,
Yes.
There you go.
So what can you tell us about the situation?
At about 10:30 last night, we received a report of a child abduction which had occurred in the 900 block of Helen in the city of Sunnyvale. Officers responded out there and determined that the father of the 2-week-old child had taken the child and abducted with it. The mother reported to us that they had been involved in an ongoing dispute about the father's desire to move out of state. And then yesterday at about 4:30 in the afternoon, he took the child to run some errands, left with the child, and then shortly thereafter sent her text messages saying he had taken the child and that he would cause harm to himself and the child, and he had taken the child and he was leaving the area.
That he did intend to cause harm to himself and the child.
He indicated to her that if the police were involved, he would cause harm to himself and the child.
Is that why there was such a delay in whether or not to call an Amber Alert?
Well, we did not receive the report until 10:30, and so there's a language barrier in speaking with the mother of the child, and it took some while to get some information from her. But once we received the information that qualified as being an Amber Alert, our officers went ahead and did that.
When did he leave the apartment?
At about 4:30 in the afternoon.
I'm sorry, what was the 7:30 you said? You said 7:30 you reported that?
No, we got the call at 10:30 last night.
Okay.
She reported that he left at about 4:30 in the afternoon.
Do we know what time that text came in?
I don't have that information now.
But prior to him leaving the apartment, they got into the argument.
This has been an ongoing dispute between them, his desire to move out of state, and she did not want to, and then that led to him taking the child.
How credible are these San Diego sightings and pings and cell phone pings made it? What, does he have connections to San Diego? Do we know anything?
As far as the sightings, I don't know about the credibility of that. We did have some pings on his phone down in the San Diego area early this morning. The wife had told us he has friends in Mexico, which led us to believe he would be headed in that direction.
Okay, so how, your resources down there, and what are you doing following up on areas down there?
Well, we've obviously got the statewide Amber Alert put out. We've been in contact with the San Diego authorities down in that area. We're also working with the FBI and also with our county district attorney's office.
Is there a way he could have crossed the border before the Amber Alert went out and people were looking for him?
Anything is possible, but when we immediately notified the Border Patrol of the license plate and the vehicle description and his description, so they were given that. So we don't believe he's crossed the border at this time. We have no reason to believe that at this point.
Any indication that he's armed at all?
We don't have any indication to believe that at this point, no.
What can you tell us about Masuku or anything?
No, just that he's,
Priors?
no, we don't get into criminal history, but he's the father of the child.
Where did he want to move? What state did he want to move to and why?
I don't know why. Supposedly he wanted to move back to New York. The reason for that, I don't know why.
Is he originally from New York?
I don't have that information.
How long has that couple lived there? Do they live together in that apartment?
They live together. I don't know how long they've lived together at that apartment, though, but they do live together there.
There were other people in that apartment. They share that apartment with?
I do not know that.
Are they married?
No, they're not married.
What language does she speak?
She speaks Spanish, I believe.
Spanish. Oh, okay. There was a description of him as a Turkish male. Is he originally from Turkey? Where's he from originally?
I don't know his background as far as where he's born. Our investigators are doing that workup right now, but he is of Turkish descent.
What can you give us the nature of those text messages and when the last time any contact was made? I mean, when's the last text message that came through?
I don't have the times that the text messages were sent to her. It was prior to us being called.
Would you say that I mean, he actually obviously got a decent head start.
Correct.
Do we think this is all planned out?
That's what we're trying. That's part of our investigation, trying to determine if it was premeditated or not.
Do you have contact with any of his so-called friends in the San Diego area or Mexico or anywhere that he might have gone?
Our investigators again are working on that.
Are there any Sunnyvale officers in Southern California right now?
No, there's not.
What can you tell us about the mother? Anything? Does she work outside?
I don't have any background information on her at this point now.
I know it's unlikely, but in the off chance you were to see this, I mean, the message to him.
Just we want to recover the child safely. We don't want any harm to occur to him or the child, and we want to, get the child back into the custody, of his mother. But we don't want any harm to occur to him
Are there
or the
any
child.
concerns? Obviously, he's a newborn.
Right, nothing other than being a 2-week-old.
Do we-
On nursing, and do we know if
I-
that's an issue?
I don't know. I don't have that information.
You may not know if the father has, formula, is able to feed the child, has, is bottle trained, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't. Again, investigators probably. I don't have that information at this point.
Do either have another child, the father or the mother? Do they have any other children?
I do not know that. Again, we're still working on the background of the parents and all of that.
Did you know if he left with any supplies or anything else?
I don't know what he
But
left with.
no other cell phone ping besides that one at 11:55, and that was
Yeah,
it?
that's the last that we know of.
So has kind of the trail run cold now? Last sighting at 2 o'clock in the morning by San Diego PD. When was the last sighting by someone?
I don't know of any sightings per se. I mean, again, the information we had came off cell phone information, but as far as verified sightings, we have not been told of that at this point.
I know that law enforcement doesn't often want to talk about how cell phones are tracked, but can you give us some broad statements about how you're able to ping his cell phone and zero in on his location?
No, that's just all part of the investigative process.
Okay.
So what's happening now? I'm assuming we're just trying to get more information about him and the family and where he might
Correct.
be.
Doing background information on him specifically, his associates and friends, and again, working with the FBI and authorities down in Southern California.
You released said previous threats of harm. Was it to himself or to the baby? Was that in previous discussions, or was it only in the text messages?
That was from the text message he sent to her after he abducted the child.
Was there a single text message, or was there?
From what I understand, yes, but I don't know that for sure.
Any history of violence from him? Any history of violence from him?
I don't have his criminal history. We don't release his criminal history.
But is he capable of, I mean, knowing his background, is he capable of doing harm to the child? Is that a credible threat that he made?
Anybody that threatens their child, I would say, is a credible threat. Anybody's capable of doing anything.
Talk about the resources being dedicated to this case at this point. In
Well,
terms of Sunnyvale PD?
Right. We have our investigative unit working on it, and again, in conjunction with the district attorney's office and with the FBI.
Now, this is the father. I mean, is there any chance that you end up capturing him and having the baby and him not facing any charges?
That would be up for the district attorney to determine. Our main concern right now is the safety of the child.
What do you think your best chance is of locating the baby? Because that's the primary goal here. What do you think your best chance is? Someone spotting the car, or?
At this point, hopefully, someone will spot the car and call 911, and the authorities will be able to recover the child.
Do we know what line of work he was in?
I don't have that information.
Like custody issues with him and the mom, custody issues? Was there joint custody at this point? Or?
Yeah, I mean, child's only 2 weeks old, so I mean, they're both the parents of the child, so
And they both lived in the same apartment?
correct.
So at what point, excuse my ignorance on this, does it become criminal if he had custody of the child and then he's taking the child?
Well, I mean, again, that's a whole legal issue, but I mean, if there's no intent to bring the child back, that's when you get into the criminal arena. But that's something for the attorneys, the district attorney, to work out.
And then the threat, I suppose, too.
Correct. That would be part of it, sure.
I mean, at this point, what are your concerns? I mean, certainly the time and how long they're gone, and obviously if he sees his vehicle on Amber Alert signs, he knows you guys are looking for him, considering his threat was if police get involved. I mean, how much does the time passing put more pressure to find him more quickly?
Well, I mean, obviously, the more time that passes, the more difficult it becomes. So the sooner we track them down, the better.
Do you know where else he might have ties to at this point besides Mexico? And
Again, that's something the investigators are working on right now.
when do you think we'll have more? I mean, are you planning on another update?
Not unless we get some further information, and if we get, obviously, if they're located, we'd put that out. But at this point, no updates.
Was the text message the last communication with him by either police or by the mother?
As far as I know, yes.
You guys have not been able to get a hold of him on that cell phone?
Correct.
You guys been trying to call his cell phone? I mean, do you think his cell phone's turned off? I mean, has been touched to just.
That's something we're trying to determine right now.
Does it have to be on for you to ping it?
I'm sorry?
Does it have to be on for you to ping it to find?
That's part of the investigative process. I don't know. I'm not familiar with all that technology,
Were there
but
attempts, if there were attempts to call by police, by you guys?
well, that's part of our investigation.
Any weapons registered to him, or any reason to think that he's armed?
Not that we're aware of at this point.
Thank you, go ahead.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
we'll let you know.
Captain.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.